What up, my people? You know who it is. In this episode, we're going to be talking about
I've made up my mind. Don't need to think it over. If I'm wrong, I am right. Don't need to look no further.
This is a recreation.
So in this episode, we're going to be talking about some lessons I learned while I was there. It was very interesting to me because I spent enough time there that I got to know more about the local culture, and also I got to get an insight on the past or the history of my national background and seeing the correlation between the two islands. And I would imagine every island that has gone through some kind of colonization would go through the same kind of process. So just to wrap that up, basically one of the first lessons that I've learned was the interaction of nations and the kind of struggles that could bring. So on to the next one. The rest of the lessons are going to be pretty lighthearted compared to those, so let's move on about my background. I moved around a lot as a child, so I'm kind of used to being looked at as the outsider or the new person, or you know, whatever, feeling outcasted for being the new guy on the block, new kid on the block, or whatever. But in Hawaii, it was a whole nother vibe, man. That was the first time I ever felt like friction from the locals, or kind of like a, I don't know. Next is the pros and cons of actually living on an island and, you know, being used to being on what they call the mainland, which is just something, you know, being part of a large body of land and having access to a whole lot of different things. In Hawaii, it's kind of like, you know, you got what you got, and the few major chain stores that are, or, you know, big box stores that bring in, like Costco, Walmart, Target, I remember off the top of my head, those are going to be the ones that are going to be bringing in those kind of things, but everything else is going to be locally made and produced, so just have that in mind. Don't come with, well, depending on which island you're actually on, because that's another thing I'm going to get into next. What I was interluding to was the different lifestyles of living on, living in Honolulu compared to living in Hilo. They're two different islands, Big Island and the other islands. They're pretty different in lifestyles compared, and there's definitely more infrastructure in Honolulu because obviously that's the capital, I guess you can call it, state capital, I guess. Don't quote me on that. So yeah, there's very different, and you know, basically it's like city life and rural life. So if you understand that, you understand the two dynamics. You can experience anything from desert all the way to tundra or freezing temperatures on the mountaintops. So that was really interesting to me, being able to go around an island and be able to experience all these different types of ecosystems and biozones. I don't know if I'm right about that, but that was really cool. One of the major things that I loved about living on the Big Island was the markets, the produce or farmers markets that they had on the island. They had a few of them, and they were awesome, in my opinion. For fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, you can get what you need at a very reasonable price. That's one thing that I wish I would have got more pictures of, the markets, and more video of, but unfortunately, for anybody who's been following me for a while, you know that I had a little issue with a hard drive. So anyways, alright, finally, I'd like to thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment, like, and let me know what's up. See you in the next video. Peace.
Be the change you want to see. Be radically creative.